This is a tutorial for colour popping within Photoshop Elements. So the first thing that we're going to do is to open a full colour image. So I've gone to File and Open. In the Open dialog box, I've gone to my computer. I've accessed the DVD and I'm now looking to change the icons so that I can see them visually. I'm just looking at full colour image, and the one that I'm looking for currently is the toucan image because it is full colour. So whenever you find the image that you want to work with, if you click on it and click on Open, it will come into Photoshop Elements. Okay, so now that the image is open, I'm going to switch on the layer palette, and in the layer palette we can see that there is one background image, which is the toucan. We're going to add in a new layer, and we're going to work on top of the new layer. So you can rename the layer if you wish to do so. It is good practice to actually name your layers. So I'm going to call this desaturation layer. Now in order to make this desaturated, you need to make sure that you are using black as your foreground colour. Okay that. You're then going to go to your brush tool and you can increase the size of your brush. When you take this to the right, the larger it gets. Okay, so we're aiming to fill in the image full of black. It's not actually the image that we're filling in, it's the layer above. Make sure that that's clicked on. At the minute it's normal, therefore it's opaque, but once we click the color blend mode, your image looks as though it's black and white. And that layer can be turned off and on at any point in time. In order to get the color to come through, we're then going to go to the eraser tool and we're going to erase the area that is the toucan. So again, you may need to resize your brush here. Okay, so we'll make that slightly larger, but not so large that it takes out too much. Okay, so if you zoom in so that you can see what you're doing, and here's a wee handy tip for you. This is the shift click method. So if you click your first point and shift click every other point, you will get a straight line between each mouse click. That works for all of the brush tools. Then whenever you stop using the shift key, you're able to fill in the areas of detail. Now this is quite interesting because if you make a mistake and you add in colour that you don't want, you just go back to your paintbrush and use a brush of a reasonable size and you can re-desaturate. Okay, so at the minute I'm using the eraser and you can see that I'm adding in the original colour. And if you look at the layer in the layer palette, you'll see that we have a black layer. So we're adding in a toucan shaped hole to the layer, and that allows the colour to come through from the background layer. Or we're not actually changing the background here. It's our original. And I can and do appreciate it takes a little bit of time to do this, and we will make some mistakes. Okay, once you have your outlining done with the shift click method, you can afford to go for a larger brush, and this time go freehand, so don't be using the shift key, and then you can just fill in the area of the bird, the coloured area of the bird. And again, if you make any mistakes, go back to your paintbrush and gently go around the edges. You don't want to see any green or anything that's not the bird. And that's looking pretty good. Let's leave it down here at the bottom. So whenever we zoom out and we switch off the background layer, this is effectively what we've done here. So this allows us to see any other slight errors that need fixed. And whenever we switch it on, we can see the toucan, and you can switch on the desaturated layer at any point in time and you can switch it off as well. It does not affect the original. Now to save this, we go into File and Save As, and because we have included layers, we're going to save it as a PSD. That means that the layers will be saved out separately. We're going to change this from a PSD to a JPEG. A JPEG allows us to squish the layers together, and I'm just going to save it onto the desktop. I'm just renaming it here to ColourPop. And I'm going to click on the Save button. Whenever we save this, we get a JPEG's options dialog box. It's currently sitting at 10. You can change to maximum quality, or you can use the slider, or you can type in 12. It's up to yourselves, but because it's a photograph, I'd always recommend 12, and then click OK. And that's it, guys. That's a color popped image.